Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Emily. Today we're looking at spiritual well-being.
Oh, that sounds that sounds great. But perhaps you could help us to understand, what does spiritual well-being mean?
I find a helpful way to think about it is like a house.
Okay.
Imagine you are a house with lots of different places and lots of different things.
Okay, great. Yes. So like we've thought about physical well-being and emotional well-being. Those are sort of different rooms in our house of ourselves.
Exactly. Spirituality is like the kitchen of a house. It's where things get made.
Yes.
It's buzzing with life.
Yes.
And it's the center of us. We could also use the word identity, the bit in us that makes you, you.
Like this kitchen right here, it's buzzing, and we get to learn a lot about who we are. Great.
Exactly.
Welcome to WELLGOOD.
So now we kind of know what spirituality or identity is. How do we get spiritual wellness? Well, the first thing we can do is acknowledge that we have that part of us, whatever you want to call it. Identity, your gut, your soul, conscience, inner kitchen.
Your inner kitchen. And if we want to know something is spiritually well or unwell, then like any conversation, we have to shut up and let it talk.
Now, we're not saying there's some little voice inside you saying actual words.
Hello, I'm your inner kitchen.
Not that we've heard or seen anyway. But if you take a moment to stop, be still, and get comfortable with some quiet, we can get to know what we feel is good for us and what isn't.
I think that word still is really important. We're not sort of just forcing ourselves to not talk when we really want to and end up having a bit of a fight with ourselves. We're taking the time to search and learn and discover who we are. In fact, many people associate spiritual well-goodness with a feeling of calm and peace.
And contentment about where you are. The other side of, spiritual unwellness is feeling disrupted or a bit uneasy about something.
I often feel sort of disrupted on the inside. It's usually because I've eaten something that wasn't very good for me.
Yes, that would be a disruption in your belly rather than in who you are as a person.
Oh, okay, fine.
That feeling may be similar though, when people say, I've got butterflies in my stomach or something like
yes,
that.
yeah.
What I find interesting is that people feel spiritually well in different environments or places to others. So what about you? Where do you feel at peace and content? When was the last time you were still and just sat in your own space?
Yeah, and what do you like about the kitchen in your real house? Pause! I like the kettle in our kitchen, and I like that you're always here, Emily.
Oh, thanks, Mike. I like all these lovely bugs and the fact that you eat all the fruit, so I don't have to.
Yes, all the fruit is what I eat.
As we always say, each of the WellGood ingredients has an impact on the others. When we're spiritually well, we can cope with lots of other stuff going on around us. For example, if we're feeling content and safe where we are, then we would probably have more positive emotions like happiness or joy.
Thinking back to that idea of the kitchen of your heart, I've always found the kitchen to be a great place to feed myself. It gives me strength for the day ahead.
For me, it's a great place to chat and catch up with my family, and that leads to relational well-goodness.
Oh, very nice. So spiritual wellness gives us strength and contentment in all the other areas of our lives.
Talking about other areas, I don't know about you, but I have to feel pretty good about a place before I can sleep in it. Spirituality helps you get a better sense of safety and confidence about the place you're in.
Well, since you mention it, I do not share that same approach. I can sleep pretty much anywhere. Which reminds me of the time that Jesus fell asleep in a very surprising place. After Jesus had spent a very busy day hard at work, his job was mainly sort of teaching people about the kingdom of heaven. He was very, very tired, and him and his friends, the disciples, decided to get on a boat, go to the other side of the lake and have some chill time. They hopped in the boat, everything was fine, off they went. I guess with the sort of gentle rocking of the boat, Jesus decided that that was a good time to fall asleep. So he went down into the boat, lied down, had a nap. As he was sleeping, a wind picked up, a storm started to brew. And the boat was... Thanks, Emily. You can do all of the weather sound effects. That'll be helpful. Thank you. Okay. There was a sploshing on the boat side. Thank you very much. One of the disciples was sick. I don't know if that's true. I just wanted Emily to make... Anyway, carry on. The wind started to get stronger and stronger. The storm started to get thicker and blacker. The disciples, Jesus' friends, got a bit more fearful and scared. You were doing a great job here. Eventually, a fully brewed storm came crashing across the sky, and the boat was thrown all over the place. The disciples were terrified. They really thought that they might all get capsized and drown. Jesus, they said, Jesus, wake up!
Wake up, Jesus!
Jesus did not move. They shook him. Wake up, Jesus, wake up, we're going to drown.
It's a bit wet.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure you covered the full depth of emotional fear there, but no, you're doing great.
Okay.
Eventually, Jesus opened his one eye, opened the other eye, stretched, yawned. He seemed to be in no rush at all. He said, calm down, guys. He went up to the brow of the boat, and he said to the waves, be still. And he said to the stormy clouds, calm down. And the storm evaporated, dissipated, disappeared. And suddenly, it was a beautiful, calm, lovely evening all over again. Jesus' friends were astounded.
You see, whether we're in a stormy part of life or a real-life crashing thunderstorm, when we know who we are, what we're comfortable with and what we can do, those other things are a bit easier to deal with. Although I'd love to be able to control the weather, I can't. But I know that, and that's okay. I know what I can do, and I act accordingly.
Nice. I guess it's a bit like when you're sort of learning to ride a bike or drive a car. You might feel a bit more confident in maybe a big, wide open space, like a field or something like that, where there's nothing around that you could drive into or knock over. And as you learn and build on your skills and your confidence and what you can do and how you feel about your surroundings, it might change. You could probably cope with more stuff being there.
I can drive on a motorway.
Oh,
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you. That's because I feel comfortable with my knowledge and ability at that speed and with all those other cars. But when I was learning, that would have been a terrifying place to be.
It's a huge part of our spiritual well-being, taking the time to learn about you, who you are, and what you are comfortable with.
Exactly. Give yourself time. My top tip for today is learn how to be still and learn about yourself.
Good tip.
Thank you.
We're actually going to do that exact thing right now with a game of musical stills. It is exactly the same as musical statues. When the music plays, have a little bop on your bottom. But when the music stops, still. Do not move. Okay, here we go. Music. Great. Music. That was very good, Justin. Well done. All right, we're going to do it for proper stopping this time. Full still. Now. Do not move. Stay completely still. Except your eyes. If you want, you can close your eyes and consider these questions. Where do you feel safe? What feels good to your soul? Who are you? Where do you most want self-confidence? You can move. Well done, Emily.
Thank you.
Well done, you guys. I bet you were brilliant at that.
Yeah, great stillness, everyone. For me, this is what prayer is. Spending time being still, listening to myself and listening to God. Spiritual well-goodness is all about making space to listen.
Deep. Nice. Well, should we say goodbye? Bye!